welcome to this Tea Break Talk. I'm Jessica from Hull Libraries, and today I'm with Carole Fenny from the City of Hull Street Angels. Hi, Carole.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well, and thank you for joining us today.
You're
Can you
welcome.
tell me a little bit about your work with the City of Hull Street Angels?
Yes, we go out on a Friday and Saturday evening and festivals and events as requested. And we start patrolling around about 9 o'clock in the evening, and we stay out until mainly the last person has got home safely. We look after people mainly in the old town of the city. Not necessarily the inebriated or the drunks or the druggies. It's people who are visiting the old town of Hull. And anybody who is lost, they've become separated from their friends, or they just want to chat. We help all sorts of people from every age you could think of in the city centre.
And that must involve a lot of walking the streets and spotting people. So what kind of help do you give people, and how do you go about it? How's it organised?
Sometimes we get visitors to the city who have been, say, to an event at the City Hall and they can't find their way to their hotel, or they need directions to a taxi rank. But also, we had a lady not last year, the year before, and she'd been to an event at the Bonus Arena and she came out. They went for a drink down Humber Street and she was walking back to her hotel. She cockled over on the cobbles, of the old town, and she broke her ankle. So we assisted her, and obviously on that occasion we had to get an ambulance. It was an obvious fracture. So we helped her as much as we could, stayed with her until the ambulance arrived, and we got her home. We helped the homeless by giving them bottles of water. All the door staff that we'll talk to all of them. We give them lollipops, little Roundtree's lollipops. They love them. People come up to us and say, have you got any lollipops or flip-flops or water? So we help a whole diverse amount of people in the city centre, and it's just so rewarding. And as for the walking, I did put my step counter on one night when I was out, and I walked nearly 6 miles around the town centre. So it gives me my exercise as well. So I love it.
Oh, that's amazing. And are the flip-flops for people whose feet are sore from dancing?
Yes, but also, again, we get visitors to the city. They're walking back. They've bought brand new shoes to go to an event at New Theatre or somewhere. They're getting blisters on their ankles or the toes. So they come to us and we give them a pair of flip-flops. Obviously, they carry their shoes off with them. And they're just, you know yourself what it's like, just to get your shoes off. And they just say, oh, that is so lovely. So the flip-flops are really good. The funniest time I've given out a pair of flip-flops was to a 6'4" man, and he'd been to a show at the City Hall and he was dressed as a woman. It was the Rocky Horror Show, and he had platforms on like this. And he came hobbling over and we gave him a pair of flip-flops. He said, how on earth do you women walk in these shoes? I said, there you go. We women can do it. So you do get your funny parts to it as well.
Oh, he must have been so relieved to get those off, those shoes.
It just looked so funny, this chap. He was dressed as a waitress and he had stockings and suspenders on. And he had to take his stockings off to get the flip-flops off. So we had, at the time, we had this support vehicle, which was an old ambulance. And we said, go on the bus. People called us the Angel Bus. We said, go on the bus, take your stockings off, and then, come out. And it was just so funny seeing this 6'4" man in stockings and suspenders and flip-flops. So yeah, we do have a lot of laughs when we're out.
That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that with us. When you're out and about, how do people spot you? Do you have a uniform?
Yes, we do. In the winter, we have high-vis jackets on, and it's got our name and logo on. In the summer, we wear a red fleece, and we're so visible. We get called Postman Pat, Felicia Beacons, anything, but they all know us, and because they know we're not the police, they feel safe with us. We're not going to do anything, we're going to arrest them or anything. And we show no judgment at all. Whether you're drunk, homeless, a druggie, you're still a person in our city that needs help. And we help them. So yeah, they can see us a mile away, don't worry.
Oh, that's good. So next time somebody that's watching this is out and about and they spot you, they can say hello.
I remember standing at the top of Whiteford this particular night, and we'd walk around in teams of 2, 3, 4, however, male and female, and we were looking for the other couple, and I could see them from one end of Whiteford to the other, and I said, oh, there they are, look. So you can see us from a long way off as well.
Yeah, that's super useful, isn't it? Yeah, brilliant. And can you tell me a bit about the challenges that you face with the work that you're doing?
The challenges, really, we don't have any, but we don't feel frightened because, as I said, people know we're there to help. Sometimes we do see fights going on. We are linked up to the CCTV cameras all over the city, Civic as it's known, and sometimes they'll say to us, street angels, there's a fight at the top of Whiteford, can you attend please? And what we do is we stand back and wait for the police or the door staff to break it up, and then they'll assess it and say, right, you go over to her, she'll clean your nose up, you go over there, they'll have a look at your hand. So we don't feel any threats, and if we do, the door staff step in. And we once had a couple to the city, and this poor man, 4 people set about him. They fancied his girlfriend, and they were actually from Lincoln, and they hit him, and he went flat to the floor. And we waited. Then the men, as soon as they saw us, they ran off. So we went over to help this couple, and we sat them on the benches outside of Holy Trinity Church. And this gang of 4 lads started walking towards us. And I thought, oh, what am I going to do now, with all these lads? And then all of a sudden, this monster, he was like the Hulk, stood in front of me. And I said, oh, Josh, what are you doing here? And he was one of the door staff, and he was on his way to his taxi to go home. And he saw these 4 lads, and he saw in his language, I won't repeat, but he said, none of these lot are getting anywhere near you. So the door staff, they're like, I felt like he was my private bodyguard. He isn't, but all the door staff will do that for us. And if they see anybody who they feel are talking to us inappropriately, they'll intervene, and they'll sort of say, look, they're here to help you. If you don't like it, mate, I'll arrest you, sort of thing. So, no, but it's very, very rare. I'd say that was the only time that I just thought, how am I going to cope with 4 men walking towards me? How can I help this chap here? But it was, and the police Civic was on us, the camera were on us, so they knew, and the police came and arrested them and took them away. So, yeah.
It's good to know that sort of safeguarding is there, that people are looking out for you as well as you looking out for other people.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. But that's the only time I felt threatened.
Oh, great, thank you. And do you have a particular, you told us the lovely story about the flip-flops and the gentleman there, but do you have a proudest moment or a particularly memorable moment when you've helped somebody?
And it, you know, it was one of my favourite nights when I was out street angeling. My husband joined the Street Angels. He didn't want me to do it, but long story, he ended up joining as well. And when we had the support unit out, which the Angel bus, we take it in turns on being on so that we can have a walk around. And this particular night, Martin and I were at the bus, and it was about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Lovely, lovely, warm, balmy night. Everybody had lovely summer clothes on. And these 4 girls came up to us and they said, "Oh, do you mind if we wait here? Because my mum's coming to pick us up." And we said, "Not a problem at all." And we got them some seats and they sat down. And then this group of about 6 males came up and they said, "Oh, can we wait here? My brother's picking us up." And we've told them to pick us up from the Angel bus. So I said, "Yeah, that's fine." You know, I said, "I haven't got any more seats." So I said, you'll sort of have to sit on the concrete. They got talking to the girls. And then it ended up where these groups of people were coming up saying, "Is it all right if we wait here? My mum's picking us up. My brother's picking up my sister." And Martin counted and we had 30 people sat around the bus. And we were giving them bottles of water, you know, girls flip-flops, men flip-flops. We were having such a good laugh with them all about experiences. And they were saying, "Oh, I bet you didn't do this when we were young, when you were young." I said, "Oh, we did. Yeah, we did." Such a good laugh. And I could see that the cameras had turned onto us. And the next thing we knew was this police van pulled up. And the police got out and he said, "Are you all right?" So I said, yeah, we're fine." So he said, "I think, is this lot behaving?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "They're waiting for mum, they're waiting for brother, they're waiting for dad." And I said, "They're all being picked up from the Angel bus." And he said, "But they're not fighting, are they?" So I said, "No, look." And eventually everybody was just talking. And I said, "No." He said, "It's just amazing." And we all waited. The other angels came back to the bus because the town was beginning to get quiet. And we all waited and we were all sat talking. And every one of those 30 people were picked up by a friend, relative, taxi. And at the end of the night, both Martin and I said, "What a brilliant night." And you know, when you go home, you're driving home and you just think, "Yeah, we've had a good night tonight." And I'll always remember that. And I always tell people that story. And I just loved it. I really did.
That's a fantastic story, and it's actually a really inspirational one. And you mentioned there about your husband joining the Street Angels as well.
Oh,
and you're all volunteers.
Oh, yeah. I went to a nursing reunion and I saw an old friend. And I said, "Oh, I'd like to join the Street Angels." She agreed we would do it together. And I said to my husband and 2 sons what I was going to do. "No, you can't do that, Mum. You can't. You don't know what the city centre's like on a night." So I said, "I'm doing it." "No, you're not." So I said, "Okay, then I won't." But I told Martin, my husband, that I said, "I am going to do it." So I went round this particular night and I didn't realise that Martin and my sons were following me to see if I was all right. And then on the new year, when obviously they knew I was all right to do it, I said to Martin, "Will you come out on New Year's Eve with me?" And he said, "Oh, I can't." I said, "You can come as a guest." I said, "We've got insurance." I said, "You'll be down as a guest." He's never looked back. He didn't realise how he was frightened people would be aggressive to us, you know, after they've had a drink, but the total opposite. And he loves it. And we go out together now, and it's nice because we're doing something together, we're helping other people, but we're also getting a bit of exercise in as well.
Oh, that's really inspirational. I love the idea that they were following you to make sure you were all right. That's great. Thank you.
We were walking down Whitefrigate. I was with a friend, Tessa, and we had Angels, Postman Part. And Tessa said, ignore them, they're just stupid, ignore them. And I thought, no, I know that voice. I knew the voice, and I turned around and I said, it's Martin and the boys. And they'd been following me for about an hour, saying, you cuddle all the door staff, don't you? I said, yeah, we did, because at the time we did. It was, oh, hello, how are you? And we have a great rapport with the door staff, and obviously they feel safe that I go out now.
That's fantastic. So if somebody wanted to be a volunteer for Street Angels, what would you recommend them to do?
They can either go to our Facebook page, City of Hull Street Angels, and there is a section there where they can obviously click on become a volunteer, or they can send a message, send an email, or they can even do the same on the website. And there is a just where you click volunteer, join, and that's it. And one of us will get back to them.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Carole. That's been really interesting listening to your experiences.
You can come out with us one night.
I'd love to. Thank you very much.
You'll be fine.
That's lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.